I was born in 1950 and realized my sexuality around the age of 18. In the 60s, homosexuality was still illegal. By the age of 25, I had moved to London, where it was less of an issue. I came out to my family. Their reaction was rejection. However, a couple of months later, during a long conversation with my father, he explained to me he didn't understand the feelings I had for other men, but I was his son, and he told me that he loved me. My mother and my sister didn't have the same reaction, and I always felt unwanted when I went home to visit. The guilt and the shame put on me became too much to handle, and I was admitted to a psychiatric hospital. After 4 months undergoing electric shock treatment, I came out a much stronger person, though I still struggle with my mother's rejection. I was diagnosed in late 2005. I was in Australia, and whilst walking along a coastal footpath, the ground just gave away beneath my feet. I fell, fracturing my spine. I thought I would never walk again. I developed a very high fever. I was moved into intensive care. The doctor said, "We've done every test we can think of. The only test we haven't done is HIV. Do you think it could be that?" I said no. I have been in a monogamous relationship for over 17 years. I got the result the day after the test. The trauma of the accident had given the virus the opportunity to attack my immune system. At the time of the accident, my father had already died, and my mother was in her late 80s, being supported by my sister. The hospital had to contact them as they weren't sure I would survive. Their reaction was devastating to me. They did not want to have any more contact. My mother's health was deteriorating. I made one last attempt to bridge the gap. I was told that HIV was an embarrassment and that they preferred that I never came home. My mother died on January the 1st, 2009. Since the funeral, the only communication I have had with my sister is through solicitors regarding my mother's will. What she left was to be equally split. I suppose it showed that my mother loved me. I've always loved my mother and father. I've always loved my sister, along with my niece and my nephew, and still do. But it's their life, and they've chosen not to have anything to do with me. I was rejected by close family, my lover, my church. I can't take any more rejection, so I've made the decision to stay celibate. The older I get, the more frightened I become. Waverley Care has been my lifeline. They were incredibly supportive. I now have a very strong group of friends. I've actually been very fortunate in life, so I am driven to give back to those who are less fortunate than me. I still have bad days, but my faith, which has never left me, gets me through. I believe that there is a better life to come, so I make the best of what I've got, as well as try to improve the life of others. Because HIV is no longer a death sentence, and we don't hear much about it in the media, people are not questioning their sexual partners. I know many HIV-positive men who don't even use condoms. I tell them that one strain of HIV can be completely different from another strain, and they could end up with both. I don't think people are listening, but people need to.
HIV. It isn't going to go away if we ignore it. We all need to listen. What could you do to help?